Welcome to the Explainer! We have got an absolutely wild one for you today. We're taking a deep, fascinating look at how cutting-edge tech and brand new astrophysics theories are rippling through literally every single aspect of our lives. I mean, from the smartphone in your pocket and the ways we try to find love online, all the way out to the actual stars in the sky, we are in a period of just incredibly intense transformation. I'm so excited to guide you through this because the stuff we're covering today is genuinely going to change how you look at the future.
Here's a quick roadmap for today's Explainer. We're going to hit AI's creative new playground, the corporate AI reality check, the death of apps, trusting the AI illusion, and finally, birthing universes, the Gravistar.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, AI's creative new playground, from video generation to neighborhood games.
You know, we hear a ton about AI totally disrupting big industries, but right now, we're also seeing some incredibly whimsical and fun ways this tech is being used by everyday creators. For example, there's this huge leap in AI video called time to move. Historically, making an AI video is one thing, but actually controlling how a character moves inside that video, it's been incredibly frustrating. Well, this new system fixes that. It creates a rough version of the motion first, and then applies this fascinating technique called dual lock denoising. Basically, it acts like a shield. It protects the exact parts of the image you want to control while letting the background seamlessly adjust around it. It's literally like dragging a character through a scene with your mouse, and the physics of the environment just naturally adapt. It makes sure the movement follows your exact instructions without the rest of the clip looking all warped and fake.
And hey, AI isn't just revolutionizing video. Take a look at Catch Cat. This is a brand new app that gamifies the actual real-world stray cats in your neighborhood. You just point your phone at a cat, snap a photo, and the AI running directly on your device instantly detects its breed and gives it a rarity level, from common all the way up to legendary. It's got this super fun Pokemon Go vibe, but what's absolutely huge here is the back end. A single developer built this entire, complex, real-time tracking game completely solo. AI is making it possible for one person to build these massive, interactive experiences that used to require a whole studio of engineers.
That exact same kind of creative empowerment is happening right now in South Korea's massive webcomic industry. Veteran artist Lee Hun is doing something totally unprecedented. Instead of running away from AI like a lot of folks, he's actually leaning in. He trained a model on 46 years of his own hand-drawn comics. But he didn't stop at just his art style. He's actively embedding his personal essays, his interviews, and his deepest worldviews directly into the model. Why? Because his ultimate goal is for his sprawling creative universe to outlive him. He's essentially teaching the AI how his unique mind works so his characters can keep generating new, authentic stories long after he's gone.
Now, what's really interesting is how that contrasts with Section 2, the corporate AI reality check, the boomerang effect, and big industry moves.
So, the corporate world is currently getting smacked by what's being called the AI boomerang effect. Not too long ago, a bunch of companies eagerly fired workers, totally driven by the fear of missing out. They fully expected AI to just instantly swoop in and do those jobs. Well, guess what? They are now being forced to rehire those exact same human roles. It comes down to a few major roadblocks. First off, high computing costs. Second, terrible reliability. The AI just hallucinates and makes flat-out mistakes. And third, decreased overall productivity. When you actually add up the hidden time costs of human employees having to constantly review, debug, and fix the AI's messy outputs, all those magical efficiency gains companies banked on, they just vanish.
And if you want to talk about those soaring costs, just wrap your head around this number, $2,500. That's the current estimated price for just 1 terabyte of DDR4 RAM. It was hovering around $1,500 not that long ago. So why the massive spike? It's all because of an extreme AI data center crunch. Global hardware supply is basically being completely swallowed up by AI infrastructure. This means that running enterprise AI is becoming exponentially more expensive than anyone originally planned for, and those hidden costs are quietly being passed down everywhere.
But amidst all this corporate chaos, some of the giants are making highly strategic, long-term bets. A24, easily one of the most creative studios in Hollywood right now, and Google's DeepMind have formed a massive $75 million partnership. It's really the first of its kind. You see, instead of Google just building some tools in a vacuum and tossing them over the fence for filmmakers to figure out, they're actually embedding their AI scientists side by side with A24's creative experts from day one. They're co-developing this tech to build Hollywood's future AI pipeline together. It's such a smart move because it ensures the tools are actually serving the artists rather than some tech company just guessing what the film industry wants.
Okay, moving on to Section 3, the death of apps, how AI agents are bypassing user interfaces. Coming out of recent tech conferences, especially things like WWDC 2026, the writing is kind of on the wall. We are experiencing a monumental shift. We're transitioning straight out of the app era and into the AI agent era. So instead of our current world, screens packed with buttons, gorgeous menus, and user interfaces that we have to physically swipe and tap, imagine a near future where an AI agent quietly handles your commands by talking directly with app APIs in the background. You literally just tell your device what you want to happen, and the AI navigates the underlying code to get it done. You never even have to open a single app screen.
Which inevitably brings us to a massive industry-shaking question. Is it time to stop designing user interfaces altogether and start designing exclusively for large language models? I really want you to think about what happens if we humans stop physically opening apps. Entire digital business models are going to collapse. In-app advertising, visual user engagement, app store discovery, all of that completely vanishes if an AI agent is just pulling data strings in the background. The visual interface we spend so much time on becomes almost entirely completely irrelevant.
Let's shift gears a bit for Section 4, trusting the AI illusion, hidden prompts, and digital courtship.
And this brilliantly illustrates the darker, trickier side of this tech. Researchers down in Florida have found a way to completely bypass AI safety guardrails, and they're calling it a jailbreak. The way it works is wild. To a human, you just see a perfectly ordinary picture of a traffic light. But attackers are embedding these microscopic pixel changes into the image. They're totally invisible to our eyes, but they contain hidden, highly malicious instructions. So when the AI system scans that image, those tiny pixels bypass its safety guardrails without triggering any alarms. As we start relying more and more on AI to visually process our physical world, hidden image hacks like this are a massive, massive security threat.
But hey, the illusion isn't just technical, right? It's becoming deeply personal. Let me pose this direct question to you. Would you actually care if the person who was wooing you online turned out to be an AI? A recent study sat down with 45 dating app users who were actively using artificial intelligence in their digital courtship, and the social dynamics they uncovered are just absolutely wild.
This behavior is popping up so much that researchers have actually coined a term for it, the Shirano effect. It's what happens when dating app users completely rely on AI to generate their flirting and witty conversation, borrowing digital words to win over a romantic interest. It's basically the classic story of Cyrano de Bergerac, right? Whispering perfect romantic poetry from the shadows to help someone else win a heart. Except it's completely updated for the modern era of ChatGPT.
The truly fascinating part here is the stark emotional divide this creates between the two people. The sender, they usually feel completely justified. They don't think they're lying at all. They just view the AI as a super efficient tool to get over their social anxiety and find the right words. But the receiver feels entirely different. When they eventually find out, they feel deeply betrayed and, frankly, pretty foolish for opening up emotionally to a machine. And yeah, you can imagine how incredibly awkward and disjointed those real-life first dates end up being when these two finally meet in person, entirely stripped of their polished AI assistants.
Let's zoom all the way out now and see how this builds into Section 5, birthing universes, the Gravistar, challenging the existence of black holes.
So for decades, we've all pretty much accepted Albert Einstein's concept of black holes as a cosmic given. But right now, astrophysicists are seriously exploring a massive theoretical alternative. It's called the Gravistar, or gravitational vacuum star. The working theory here proposes that when a massive star runs out of fuel and collapses, it doesn't actually create an infinitely dense singularity where all our known laws of physics just completely break down. Instead, it contains an expanding core of dark energy.
Think of it this way. With a traditional black hole, gravity just ruthlessly crushes everything infinitely inward into a tiny, impossible point, a singularity. But a gravistar's collapse functions very differently. As the star starts collapsing, the dark energy trapped inside acts as this massive outward-pushing force against the gravity. The two forces violently push and pull until they eventually balance each other out perfectly. This stops the total collapse of the star entirely, leaving behind a stable, incredibly dense object.
And here is where it gets genuinely mind-blowing. What if a collapsing star doesn't create a black hole, but actually births a tiny, expanding new universe instead?
Because as it turns out, the dark energy expanding outwards inside a theoretical gravastar behaves mathematically exactly like the Big Bang of our own universe.
The researchers behind this actually put it beautifully. They said, maybe we exploded out of a point, like something gravistar on the other side. Just sit with that for a second. The mathematics of a collapsing, dying star in another reality could be directly connected to the very origins of our own existence. An expanding pocket of dark energy fiercely fighting against gravity perfectly mimics exactly how our own cosmic reality began.
Which leaves us with this final, absolutely wild question to chew on today. If our universe is currently expanding outwards, and we know it's powered by mysterious dark energy, are we living inside a gravistar right now? Could our entire universe just be the balanced, expanding core of a collapsed star from an entirely different reality? I want to thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. We covered a lot of ground, from neighborhood AI cats to the very outer edges of existence. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.